congrats on the win. Can I just get your immediate thoughts on what looked like a pretty good performance to start things off with?
Delighted with the win, and obviously the bonus is the bonus point. To get a bonus point win against a side like Wales is no mean feat, so we're delighted with that. Really pleased with certain aspects of our game, and like all first games are always going to be, there's plenty to work on as well.
You started the second half in really, really hot form, like it was 10-0 at half time, and it possibly could have been a bit more. Was it a key message at half time to really just push out the scoreboard and try and kill it off as quick as you could?
No, we just got to play the game that's in front of us. 10-0 was fine because the conditions were terrible out there. You know, you'd have to ask Johnny about it more than me, because I was in the box and it was nice and warm in there, but it was terrible conditions. It was really, really difficult to kick in, really difficult to play in. It was slippery, it was blustery, certainly in corners. For our kicking game and certainly for line-outs, etc. You know, it was tough. So putting all that together, you know, obviously Wales come here to win and to do a job on us and to be able to get a bonus point. We're delighted with that.
And just lastly for me, was discipline something you were very pleased with? By my count, it was 54 minutes. I think was the first penalty you conceded.
Yeah, no, it was great. It's something that we constantly talk about, and I thought our discipline in our decision making was great. And discipline doesn't just count for penalties from the referee. It accounts for how you play your own game as well, and that was pretty good across the board. But as I said, there's plenty to work on as well.
Thanks, Andy. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Hi, Andy. Ashling here from Off the Ball.
Hi there. We're not surprised. He's got the temperament for handling debuts. He's very cool, calm, and collected in how he plays the game, and it suits how we play as well. You know, we want to be nice and controlled in how we make decisions, and I thought he was pretty smooth at times.
And you really empty the bench, which is great to see ahead of a big challenge next weekend against France.
Yeah, it's important to get everyone up and running as well within the squad, and also we've a few guys on the outer who didn't play today, who's going to be fully fit for next week as well.
And just the last one from me, just on France, did you think this game has really prepared you for going into that challenge, or would you like a bit of a tougher task?
No, it was a tough task. You can ask these guys; they're pretty sore. I actually thought Wales made it very hard work. I thought, you know, they obviously got off the line quickly and tried to put us under pressure. I thought we was nice and calm, especially again within the conditions, and fair play to the players for the courage of their own convictions to play the game that we wanted to play. And it wasn't perfect, like I said. It was never going to be in those conditions, but I thought some of the execution was great. As far as the hit-out's concerned, it's perfect for us. Some of our lads have not played a big game in a long while. To get people back up and running is great, and now we've a 7-day turnaround, so we must make sure that we recover properly and on to the next one.
Great, thanks, Andy.
Thanks.
Hi Johnny. How's it going?
Hello.
Can I just ask from a player's point of view, what are the most pleasing aspects of that win?
The win, and the bonus point. That's like, I can't tell you how demoralising it is. You know, you go back to last year, first game, sitting in the dressing room with, you know, nothing to show for all your efforts. Triple Crown gone, Grand Slam gone, up against it to win a championship. You know, so that's what we're pleased about most. Like Andy said, we feel that there was plenty of stuff that we need to brush up on for next week, because France away is arguably one of the biggest tests in world rugby. So you know, we need to be at our very best, and we need to learn some lessons from today, even in victory. I think we did that well over November, and hopefully we'll continue in that vein.
Yes, 9 wins in a row now. Like, how much confidence and belief is there in the group going to Paris now for that big test?
Look, there's always been confidence in the group, even when times were low after first 2 games of the Six Nations last year. We felt we weren't too far away, and thankfully we've turned things around in terms of results wise. But look, you're never confident about going over to Paris because it's a hard place to go. But what you are, I'm confident in the group. I'm confident that we feel that if we play our very best, we can win. And that's what we need to get out of ourselves this week, is get our prep right, make sure we look after ourselves recovery-wise, and put our best performance out there and see where that gets us.
And lastly, can I just ask you about Mac from your point of view? How impressed have you been with how he's coming?
Yeah, really, really impressed. He's a good guy, which is the most important thing. He's bedded in really well into the group, and his performance speaks for itself. You sometimes, guys like himself, I compared him to Lowy a bit in terms of the fact that guys that are so elusive and good at breaking tackles, they sometimes don't shine in training too often because their strengths, we're often not doing full contact, and you saw how many tackles he broke this evening. So he's going to shine in those games, and we'd seen him for Connacht, and he brought that into the international arena, and he's got a game that's made for international rugby. So hopefully he continues to grow with us, and it's a great start for him.
Thank you.
Hey Johnny, can I just ask a follow up to that? How much easier is your job made when you have a winger like that, like similar probably to James Lowe, who's really hungry to get in off his wing, looking for work? I suppose as a 10, how much easier does that make your job?
Yeah, of course, it's something that we've been trying to grow with all the backs in terms of decision making and when to do that and when not to do it. And he can play out half, Mac. He can play 15. He could probably play anywhere. He says himself he just goes wherever he's asked. That's what I asked. I asked what his favourite position was. He goes, wherever you need me. So he's he can play 10. So he's got that ball playing ability. He's a lot faster than some of the 10s in the squad, but he's
most of them.
he's down as an out half on all the meters and high speeds and stuff, so he's a bit of a pain in the arse for me. But he's good to have, and it's brilliant to have him.
And just on the attack in general, Andy obviously mentioned the tricky conditions, but how easy was it, I suppose, to pick up where you left off in November with that kind of similar style of play?
Yeah, like again, the conditions in November were way better than they were today. So I think that's the most pleasing aspect. I think the way that the coaches want us to play, I think, means that if we get it right, we can still play it on days like today where it's greasy and windy. So look, there's plenty we left out there. I thought we were pretty dominant in the first half, and we didn't have. We left a couple of opportunities out there, but I'm happy with how we turned up for the second half. We haven't always started the second half well in previous games, and we started really well today. So that was probably the most pleasing thing, and got that all important bonus point. That'll tell further down the line.
You're on mute. I can see your hand. Your hand's up, but you're still on mute.
Is that working?
That's it. You're in.
Oh, no, I had the headphone plugged in. Just with your kick, Mr. Perfect here. With your kicks, Johnny.
Be careful. Be careful now. Be careful.
Is it just kind of something like a couple of the connections kind of seemed off? Like, Andy was saying it's supposed to be it definitely was down there, but is it something fixable for yourself? Like, you got it back and then you're frustrated with the one you missed at the end. What's the kind of process for yourself in your own head about that?
Just let him calm down for 1 second, and he'll tell you in a second.
No, look, some of the kicks, like even the couple of the first ones were hit exactly where I wanted to hit, and it was almost, I don't know what the term for it is, where you're aiming slightly right and expecting the wind to go right to left, and it goes the other way. So it was a tough day. I was happy with how I recovered from it. I was happy with how it didn't let it affect the other parts of the game. But yeah, of course you want to get them all. I'll lie awake tonight probably thinking about them, but at the same time, there was a couple of them that there was nothing I could have done about it. I suppose the one at the end annoyed me because I knew what line I had to hit it on, and the wind calmed down, and I changed my mind. That's what annoyed me the most. But the other ones, good kicks, and just one of those things.
Okay, and just wondering.
But thanks for asking.
Gibbs Park, he played the full 80, and kind of looked almost as he got better as the game went on. Is that something that you wanted to do, get him out there, because he hasn't had a lot of minutes since the middle of December?
Jameson.
Yeah.
I thought Connor came on. He made 3 line breaks that I saw anyway. Yeah.
But with Jameson, he hasn't had a lot of minutes, but I did think he got better in the second half as well as the game went on.
Look, he's a super fit guy, and he hadn't played many minutes for Leinster at all. But the minutes that he played, he hit the ground running, and we've no problem. We're confident in the way that we prepare. We prepare unbelievably hard. For 12 days, 7 days over there in Portugal, it was tough. You know, we pushed the boundaries. They worked unbelievably hard, the guys, and we've no problem with fitness or lack of game time, etc. because of the way that we train, and we're just glad to get this one done and get a decent performance and move on to the next one.
I'm going to lie awake myself tonight thinking about a couple of these questions. Cheers for that, lads.
He's going to kill you when he sees you. He's going to kill you.
Thank you.
Anything further there, lads? Ladies?
Can I just ask one word to Johnny, if possible?
Yeah. Go on.
Johnny, just with the challenge from Josh Adams, it looked reckless. How are you feeling after that, and what's your view on it?
Yeah, I'm okay. Look, it was dealt with on the pitch. I can't really answer because I was on the receiving end. You'd have to ask him about what his intentions were. But look, it was one of those things, a bouncing ball, and it was dealt with on the pitch, and we got on with it, and we made it pay, thankfully, with a couple of tries.
Brilliant, thank you.
Andy, if I could ask you a question. The team came very close to keeping Wales scoreless for the entire game, which would have been a first in the history of Welsh rugby in the Six Nations Championship. Does that mean, from our point of view looking at it, it looked like a hell of a defensive performance by Ireland. Did you feel that?
I certainly did, and that was the most unpleasing thing about our performance, I would have thought. We got a bit loose, didn't we? And it looked as though with that passage of play, we was just trying to keep playing just for the sake of playing, so that we could all get in the game. But I don't think we managed that particular part that well. And the looseness of the last bit was deserved in a Welsh try, and it certainly wasn't fitting for the way that we defended, because our defence was awesome in the November, and it's something that we really pride ourselves on. And there's a lot of people talking about the way that we're playing the game at this moment in time. The best part of our game by country mile is our defence.